for you if you guys can
Yes.
see it here. We got a little bit of an update. We are ready to go. We have got two teams, Degenerates Ascension and Divine Ascension Obsidian. They are good and they are okay with being able to play today. So we are going to be getting to see the Divine Ascension Obsidian matchup up against Degenerates Ascension. Keep in mind now, this is game number 2. So game number 2 going to be the play here. DAO losing to Degenerates Ascension in game 1 in a very crazy game. It ends up getting Degen a win already, Kendo.
Yeah, of course, that means everything that we did research, throw it out the window. You don't need it anymore because the matchup is completely different. But yes, worth mentioning, Degen already with a win. They're going to be looking for another one here, and we're looking at the bans at the moment. The Seraphine by DAO. We see Degen taking both the Aurelia and the Ziggs out of play, both very important bans, as we already know. That Ziggs has been a renegade on the Rift throughout the league play. And of course, in the hands of the Ponycoat, you don't let Ponycoat have Ziggs.
Nope, not at all. And so that is going to be banned out from him here in game number 2. Looking over at the other side, Seraphine and Severe are going to get banned. So a couple of bottom lane bans, maybe a mid lane ban up against August. Going to be the pick here for the Seraphine. Severe obviously going to be taken toward or taken away against Bixis. He will not be able to use one of his highly effective champions here on the Rift in game number 2. And then on top of that, LeBlanc and J4 are the final lineup bans coming through here. And it looks like first pick of the game, Degenerate's going to go with the Amumu, blinding that jungle pick out.
That's a flexy Amumu as well, of course. We already know Amumu, the meta right now, is very support-oriented. Could also go to the jungle, so perfect first pick here for Degen. We'll see how DAO react. They're going to react with the Trundle, so maybe suspecting that could potentially be the Amumu jungle.
I mean, regardless, if Trundle is available with the way that Trundle has been performing, you want to be able to take it. You want to be able to have that available. It's going to be a top tier, top winning jungler here, not only in the Light League, but then also, across the Rift in general. Trundle, second highest win rate champion on the Rift, 57%. Really strong, really valuable. And they're going to pair it with the Ezreal coming in. Tristana's going to be the second pick for Degenerates.
Tristana, of course, we already talked about pick and ban champ majority of the time. 50% of the time it is in that scenario, and then a 55% win rate so far in league play. So very successful on the Rift has Tristana been. Now this is a pick I love. Shen is one of my favorite characters.
And so, I mean, with that Shen available, if the Amumu does decide to go for the jungle, that is a pretty tanky top side coming in, and they're drafting it into a Trundle. I mean, that is not the worst thing, but it does mean the DAO is going to be able to counter here in the last pick phase, unless they're worried about something getting banned out. Nope, they are going to pick up the Urgot coming in from Ted Garcia. Teddy, as it were, now on the screen. So Urgot up against Shen. Has ways to cancel Stand United. Urgot, though, gonna have a tough time in the early game.
Who's to say the Shen's not flexing either? No, I'm joking. Most likely you're right. That is our top lane matchup. Shen versus Urgot, a tale as old as time. But I love the fact if Amumu gets too far gone in anything, Shen could ult in and completely change any team fight around at any time. And Shen's one of those picks that is so much fun to play as. We're seeing a couple mid lane bans, Akali and the Sylas coming through, Victor as well. And what's the last ban going to be? The Mr. Not in My House to the Mr. Irrelevant in the football area of things. I might be trying to reference and crisscross too many applesauces.
Maybe a little bit. I'm not familiar. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not familiar. I don't
That's
know what
okay.
you're talking about. It's Xin Zhao. Okay,
Ooh,
Xin Zhao
okay.
gonna get banned out here coming in from Degenerates. Maybe they're
That's
thinking
very interesting.
Maybe they're thinking that the Trundle's going to be support, but it's not. It's going to be in the jungle. Braum is going to be picked up, paired with the Ezreal. Very safe lane. Such a bully that Braum is. And now Degenerates going to have to try to figure out whether or not they want to put the Amumu in the support role or put him in at the jungle. It does mean that Void is going to be able to get whatever counter pick he wants. He'll either know it's going to be a Tristana or something else. Obviously, want to be able to ban out that Victor from August, and along with that, the Void, Silas not going to be available. Oh man, I love it. Viego coming through for the first pick.
I actually like the Amumu in the support against the Braum. That would be the move here, in my opinion. Why? Who cares about the shield? Just band-aid in and wreak havoc. You throw in the fact that Shen could teleport in on it. It is an instantaneous advantage in your bot lane. So Viego, yet another pick that could flex. I hear Viego jungle is not the same. That is going to be most likely what we are going to see, though. Viego most likely in the jungle. TF, the double teleport. Degen are coming in with some meta picks for as far as the mobility goes. If I remember right, last Worlds you had Shen and Twisted Fate high priorities due to the ability to cover the entirety of the map.
And that's, what they're trying to do here. They got the Destiny coming in from the TF. You've got the Stand United coming in from the Shen. And so, really, it's all about being able to play the entirety of the map, use the teleports that you've got, not only as summoner spells, because Shen and Twisted Fate can still go teleport if they wanted to, but then when a fight comes in, being able to be there just in time, secure themselves a really good fight, because you get the shielding coming in from Stand United, you get a early yellow card coming in from the Destiny. Degenerates is looking to play the map, get to that mid-game, late-game scenario where they're going to be able to split everything, just take on everything, make it impossible for DAO to recover. Yasuo is the final pick, however, from Divine Ascension. Void banking on the fact that he's going to be able to land his Q ability or the Glacial Fissure landing from the Braum.
Yeah, and I could definitely see that there's a lot of knockup potential. Bartering the power spike for Yasuo, though, that could always be an interesting story. I know it's a meme, but I've seen it enough times that I truly believe that it's not just a meme anymore, that you have to die at least 10 times before Yasuo really maintains his final form, which doesn't bode well for Void, because Void, again, one of the best at making sure that they keep themselves on the Rift. Under 2 deaths per game, the highest in the league, or excuse me, the lowest in the league. The best at making sure that there's no gray screen.
And that's, really important. The Yasuo is going to be a little bit tougher to be able to do that for, but it does have its value. If you're able to drop the wind wall at a great time, you're able to deny the stun coming in from the TF, you're able to deny a lot of the damage that the Amumu is coming through. They've got a lot of blocking potential that is there to be able to deny those projectiles and make Tristana, make the TF have difficulty being able to get those really important auto attacks, and that's done in, especially from the TF. Ezreal is pretty safe. You've got the Yasuo, who has the help from the Trundle and the Urgot, and then on top of that, with the Trundle pick, Wasp, KGB, he's going to have 2 very strong picks that he could use for the Subjugate in the Shen or the Amumu. Regardless of who he picks, he's going to be one tanky boy moving through the mid-game into the late game.
The one thing I do like about this pickup more than anything else, and I'm talking about the draft here for Degenerates, is the fact that they are taking what is DAO's strength and pushing that completely against them with the high amount of map pressure that they are going to have throughout this game number 2. The Twisted Fate ult always there. Shen going to be able to go just about anywhere on the Rift as well. And then when you think about the fact you're already gonna have a Viego wandering around at any given time, the damage from the Tristana, this is an extremely good draft, and it may come down to that mid lane, the Viego, or excuse me, the Yasuo versus the Twisted Fate. Of course, TF, more of a conservation, keep that lane going sort of pick. Not always the best as far as one-on-one fights go, but in a pinch, Twisted Fate showing up at your doorstep at the right time, always a good surprise.
You know what though? You know what, Kendo? I'm looking at it right now, and we got Ted Garcia on the Yasuo Urgot, played by Void here in this game. This could be an Urgot versus TF situation here, Kendo. I mean, maybe go into the top game or in the top lane there, but I mean that is a very interesting pick, and they're putting their life on the line, I should say. Putting in their faith into the Urgot.
Well, this is very interesting. We got ninjas and samurais up in the top lane. Yeah. I did not expect to see this rivalry come to full fruition, but it's going to have my utmost attention going into this matchup. So this is a little bit unexpected. I like the Urgot in the mid lane, though, against the Twisted Fate, because Twisted Fate, very squishy. You won't need the ult from Urgot to really go in on TF. That is going to be a tough lane. Maybe a lane swap or two.
We'll have to see whether or not that is going to be the case. Before we get into the match, though, I do want to just finish up with the updates here on today's games. With CDU and CBS, they did play that game number 1. CDU did take the victory there. That will still count. CDU does still take the win, and they will go 1-0 in the series. But like a lot of the other games here today, they are going to get rescheduled. Fingers crossed now for Degen and DAO that they do not have any of those issues here in this game, and we are able to get a smooth, clean, and fun matchup. Regardless, we are going to get ready to jump into this game here momentarily. Degenerates Ascension versus Divine Ascension Obsidian. Going to be a fun game, and we'll be right back to get it started. Obsidian Kendo. My name is Mr. Moose, and we are already getting some shenanigans here in the bot lane coming in from the Degenerates.
I don't blame them. This is one of my favorite things in the world. Get the early invade and camp that brush. Pony may or may not be completely unaware here. Oh my.
He's going to be able to get away from this one. Yellow card is on the way. Flash for Flash. Going to be the play there. Pony will lose that summoner spell early on, but
Can you screen share your
All right, folks. Sorry about that issue there, guys, as we get ourselves back into game number 2 between Divine Ascension Obsidian and Degenerates Ascension. Taking a look at where we're at right now, it is going to be a little bit of an advantage for Degenerates, however. They have been able to put on the pressure in the bottom lane, getting a kill on to Corey JJ, and then on top of that, Void actually got ganked a little earlier, Kendo, but made it a 1-for-1 trade.
Yes, indeed. Void being a unit, as we mentioned in the chat. You do love to see it. And of course, everything being consistently worked on right now. But both these teams playing each other so evenly. You can't help but wonder, once we reach 6, once we see these global ults and the ability to really support their teammates come in, how much will that shift the tide?
Well, we've already seen Gildo on that Shen using Stand United pretty effectively there, being able to secure a lot of pressure in the bottom lane and being able to keep Bixus safe as he went in for that play up against Corey JJ. Now, with the 9:48 right now, we've got about 30 seconds remaining until the next dragon spawns, Kendo. So, gotta make sure. We'll see who's going to be able to take that one. We got to make sure if we are on the side of Divine Ascension that they've got the river warded. They do not want to be able to get some sort of weird bandage coming through. But it does look like we are seeing the play here in the bottom lane. A lot of damage onto this Amumu. Kawhi is going to flash at the last second and will, or not flash, pardon me, will end up going down, giving priority over to Divine Ascension.
Yes, indeed. DAO gonna take priority on the drag here. However, it looks like this Braum... Okay, never mind. We'll go in. They're gonna make sure they secure that. We do have a fight between Void and your Shen here. This could take a while.
Gildo going to be looking to be able to get a lot of damage here. It is going to be the Cloud Drake coming through, but there's the Destiny coming through from August. That's going to be the kill coming through for Degenerates. Yes, Divine Ascension gets the dragon, but they are going to be able to at least get a kill here for this Shen in the top lane. He is now 2-0-1 at the 11-minute mark. Really good stuff, and these are those global ults coming in strong. It's a bad situation because you had the tanking the entire wave there. It was a huge wave. We're going to see another teleport. 2 teleports coming in. Teddy is going to get 1. Will they be able to get 2? Here's the Viegos going in. The stun on Teddy. Gildo's going to take him out. Void may just go down here as well. But it's quite the tanky boy. Wasp does come in. Will they have the disengage? Just enough of it. The shutdown coming in on Gildo. Great play coming in from Wasp, being able to, or KGB Wasp, whatever you want to call him, putting on the stinger right there against Gildo, being able to make it a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Divine Ascension. That was a great last breath coming through from Ted Garcia. Be able to get the damage on it to August to make it that 1-for-1 play. And then on top of that, in the extended fight, Corey JJ coming in for the assistance here in the mid lane, and the Subjugate taking down the damage and shutting down this Shen, who is 3-1. However, anytime the elite pony goat all on his own, it could be potentially scary for him. It is going to be Corey JJ being able to get back, though, so should be just fine at this point here. As the Riptail does get summoned, it is going to be from Dusk, and he will be able to get that headbutt. That is almost 4 plates down here in the bottom lane for Degenerates against DAO.
That is brilliant stuff. Degenerates have shown themselves to be extremely strong, and they are continuing to push this forward. And I'm excited because this is the first time we've really seen DA Obsidian punished to the monumental amount that we have seen thus far.
Yeah, and this is going to put, you know, DAO in a pretty scary situation. Like I was talking about earlier, the longer that this game goes on, the more that those global limits start to be an issue. The macro game that Degenerates is able to be superior in is going to start to put Degenerates in a pretty good position here. DAO they're going to be looking to keep up this positive momentum that they had earlier in the contest. Already looking to go for a gank here against Gildo, but just keeping up the pressure. Not going to be able to get a kill. A big worry here coming in from Pony Goat as he looks to be potentially collapsed on Bixis, Kawhi, and August. All in the area here, Kendo, with only one turret plate remaining. This is a sieging Tristana that could be ready to take this kill here as Corey JJ gets into the area. Oh, a little bit of damage. This could be a bamboozle, a bait, and they are taking it, Kendo. Oh, no. The stun coming in. Curse of the Sad Mummy on to Pony. He's going to get obliterated by Bixis. Teleport, kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, kind of unnecessary, but at this point, insult to injury. We'll get the first turret credit there for the teleport. Okay, I see they're spreading it around. That's a good thing. Making sure everybody gets their fair share of the love in this house. And at this point, yes, it's 5-4. Yes, the gold is fairly even, but momentum just seems to be on the side of Degenerates.
And right now, we're just about to get the third dragon of the game. It is the highly valuable Infernal Soul that is going to be there. And so if we get Divine Ascension being able to get that one, that will put them into prime position to be able to get the Infernal Soul in about, what is that? That's almost a 22-minute Infernal Soul if they're able to get it. But they're looking to be able to go maybe onto Kawhi. Not going to be able to get that good or that potential there with Winter's Bite not landing. But regardless, with Dragon spawning in 23, that is where all the effort from both these teams are looking to be able to go for.
Oh, Kawhi gonna get punished. Was starting to get vision, getting ready for the dragon. Goes down to a bursty bar coming from that Ezreal.
Yeah, Pony Goat, Shoe Shot Barrage landing. Will be able to give it a now 4v3 here, as it looks like we are seeing Dusk really not deciding not to even go for this dragon. It is going to end up being Divine Ascension Obsidian being able to make soul points. However, they've still got to be able to get that last one to be able to get Infernal Soul. It is extremely powerful if they are able to get it. But 16 minutes into the game, those globals are starting to really be scary here.
They are very scary. They might need to use one, though, here, as that mid pressure, very, very dangerous. Setting up, looking to secure a Rift Herald. The vision thus far from DAO, absolutely fantastic. We're going to get this fight in the mid lane. Looks like they're going to push the issue.
Oh, nice stun going to go in onto the Yasuo, who does get used with that Immortal Shield, but the Glacial Fissure is there, but not going to be able to use the knock-up that Corey JJ was able to get. Stand United going to come through from the Amumu, and he will survive. Meanwhile, it's going to be a Void coming in, going to be able to use Fear Beyond Death onto the Shen, going to be able to get that shutdown, but not able to get the kill onto the Tristana. It will be Corey JJ dying, and now the reset's coming through from the Diego. There it is, the stun onto Pony Goat, making it a 4-for-3 trade in favor. I'm sorry, 4-for-2 trade.
4-for-2, yeah.
Degenerates.
It did not go well for this DAO squad at all, and that Rift Herald, outside of Void being able to interfere, pretty much gonna go down, and the Rift Heralds have been really well used by Degenerates so far. It looks like they will secure it. Now they are working on it. We'll give DAO credit. They did get in all of that soul point. So they are right where they want to be. Void's going in. August as well as Dusk are running for their lives right now. And a blast cone use may be to no avail because they are diveable under that turret.
Gotta be careful, and it is Ted Garcia. Teddy looking to be able to go for it. Maybe looking to find a Viego, trying to find a Twisted Fate. Will be able to get the last breath on the Dusk Fisk, and he will see the sunset. We'll go black screen here for a 25-second window. Just gonna give a tower over to Divine Ascension in the mid lane because of it. Actually, maybe not yet. Very close to, though.
Yes, indeed. And you gotta love the fact that these two teams are keeping up with each other in just about every aspect of the game, despite the fact that they are so dynamically positionally different. You've seen 2 Heralds for Degenerates go down. You have seen all 3 Dragons for DAO, and Teddy gonna take this turret in the top lane right in the face of August.
That's a big turret going to come through. It's going to mean that this Yasuo is going to be able to reset in favor, or back in for this Dragon. Curse the Sad Mummy out of that flash onto this Ezreal. So much damage as the Destiny comes through. A lot of summoner spells getting used. Ponygo will be able to survive in landing that True Shot Barrage onto several members of Degenerates. Bixis is low. Pony is low. Everyone gets to reset. Meanwhile, all the while, it's going to be a nice push coming in from Teddy.
It's very well done. And the back and forth for DAO as they will manage to escape in the top lane. Granted, Twisted Fate, I'm not sure would have offered a complete secure of a kill. So we go very interesting from here. 1 minute left on Soul Point. You do have the Baron Nashor up at 20 minutes, and you gotta be wondering, if you're DAO, you have all the vision in the world. Just taking a look at all the vision that they have. The river is full. You have the top side completely warded up, and they're going to be able to make a very informed decision here. It wouldn't surprise me if they give the dragon for the first Baron.
We'll see what they decide to do, but Shelly does get spawned up in the top lane. Will get the headbutt, will not get the kill. A great play coming in from Void to be able to get there just in time. He does have teleport ready as well to potentially go in for a fight here in the Dragon Pit if they do decide to go for it. A tower does finally fall in the mid lane for the against the Degenerates here. And so now, a little bit of cheese shenanigans it's looking like coming in from the rest of the... from the rest of Degens, but we are going to get a pause coming through. Hopefully it's not too scary here.
As I saw something about Void's keyboard going rebellious here, so there may be a technical issue for one of the players. They'll pause. They'll make sure they sort that out. I am seeing a very interesting team fight developing, though. There is no vision in that bush, and you got 3 members of Degenerates just waiting to start this one up with good vision. Wasp and Corey JJ may just walk into what would be not a very winning scenario.
Well, that's what you got to be careful about. And I mean, that's what we've got to be seeing here coming in from the rest of Divine Ascension. Teleport is ready for Void, so he can come down. He does have a couple of wards across the rift to be able to use those and potentially be able to get something going here in terms of, in terms of maybe collapsing onto just the 3 members that are in that brush at the moment. So could be a good situation there, but Stand United is ready. Destiny is ready to go. August and Gildo can be in the fight at any moment. And this is a very important fight that I think DAO was looking to take. They are in the lead gold-wise. They're trying to make sure that the global pressure that Degenerates can try to go for doesn't even get to activate. That Dragon Soul is going to be really good if they're able to get it.
If they are able to get it. So we'll see how everything turns out after the pause is up. Of course, Void looking like they're going to try to figure everything out on the flip side of things. I gotta ask, because it does very much look like they are going all in on this dragon. I like the idea of giving the dragon and grabbing the Baron. But is there a hole in my logic there? They are very uninformed right now. Granted, they did see with what vision they had, the vision being cleared out and taken over for the most part. That being said, there's a lot more in that bush than they are completely aware of at the moment.
Well, I mean, and that's the big thing is like whenever you get a dragon fight, it's very important that you are able to ward out this river. You want to be able to fight towards the dragon and have control of the pit. Because if you're DAO, like right now, if you're looking at their positioning, they don't have any sort of control in the river. So if they want to go in, I mean, they've got that one ward in the brush near mid lane. Other than that, they are not controlling of the river at all. So they have no idea where anyone is at this point. And so when you are the team that does have river control, you're able to really put in a lot of question marks on the other team. It means that the fight has to come to you rather than you going to the fight. And it all in all really, really good. And it's why river control and map awareness is so important here in these fights, especially at the Dragon and at the Baron pit. Now, I think just to put on your point about the Baron, I think that it's a decent call, just a little spooky, as it does look like we are ready to continue the match.
Oh, and they are gonna abandon it here.
Uh-oh.
They're going in.
A lot of damage coming through. Curse of the Sad Mummy's going to land onto 3, but is going to be the teleport coming through. It is going to be Vixus trying to get the damage and the kill onto the Ezreal, and will be able to get the first reset coming in from Dusk. Trying to be able to continue to keep things up here. Oh. Got a bit of a pause again. As it does look like we are about to resume. Gildo will be able to put the shield onto the Viego, but will he be able to finish the job as we do get a lot of damage? Oh, it's Void that's able to survive! And it's a shutdown on Vixus. August, the only member alive here for Degenerates, and that should confirm the Infernal Soul.
That was absolutely insane from Void. Somehow managed to keep themselves in it. August is going to stick around and try to prevent this dragon from going down. But the red team, DAO, are going to take Infernal Soul at 2 minutes and 54 seconds.
Oh, man, that is great. Really good, really great going in for DAO because that just gives them so much power. The Infernal Soul with the ability to be able to get that AoE explosion damage. That's going to make it very difficult for Dusk, Gildo, and Kawiope to be able to keep up or keep in the same area because you get massive explosion damage, massive AoE damage from that one. And with Pony being able to get be this poke champion that's going to be able to use that Mystic Shot, having that available is massive at 22 minutes for Divine Ascension. And now, you know, any sort of global pressure that Degenerates are trying to go for, they got to worry about it because if they get collapsed upon, the Baron's the play.
Yep, absolutely. They are going to have to defend that Baron well. I want to, while we have a slight reprieve here, everything going to be getting set up most likely for a very crucial Baron fight. But let's just talk about everything. I think went right for Degenerates. They got onto the back line. They were able to take out Pony Goat earlier in the match, or earlier in the team fight. What exactly do they have to change or improve from there?
Well, right now it does look like we are getting another fight coming in. Glacial Fissure's going to land on a 2 yet again, but the Yasuo finally going to land a beautiful tornado into a triple last breath.
Goodness.
That's massive going in for Divine Ascension. It is just a 1-for-1. Unfortunately, Vixus and Teddy will both fall. But with the Infernal Soul, you already get to see the damage that they get. And now they're looking to be able to go for this inner turret. The taunt is not going to land for Gildo. The minions will get cleared out. So we'll be just fine. But a lot of damage now onto this Amu. Oh, wow. What a play coming in from Void. As he's able to just pick off the Sad Mummy. Gets the flash into the Flea. And are keeping the play up. Unfortunately, it's going to be Wasp going way too far in that play. And so again, August putting in the pressure there, being able to get that kill. And the fight and the play is not done yet. Void will go on a rampage. The True Shot Barrage is going to land. And it is going to be another kill for Divine Ascension Obsidian. As they take down the tower, they take down all 5. And now they look towards Baron.
very unfortunate overstay towards the end of that team fight, and that is going to give full priority for this first Baron to DAO. They can do a full retreat here, and they should be able to pull off Nasher #1. They are already starting it. They do have the Amumu. We do have the Shen working forward, but will they be able to get there to contest it in time? It's a losing battle either way, Moose. I don't like their chances.
They're not even going to get a chance to do it. It will end up being Teddy taking down the kill and Bixis as well. Bixis going way too far forward. And on top of that, another extra little bit of a treat there coming in as Gildo has to flash away with that Baron buff and with Infernal Soul. They will have that available if they do want to go for the Elder Dragon. But we'll see whether or not they do want to do it, or if they just want to be able to end the game, because they can go either direction and be just fine.
Let's talk about Teddy for a moment, because Teddy, coming off a 0-2 start, has been nothing but incredible in the past 2 team fights, making sure that the win walls are in the right place at the right time. Pony is getting chased down by most of this team, but Wasp is going to be so tactical with that pillar to make sure that the entire team is zoned off.
Yeah, that is just big coming through for the rest of Divine Ascension, being able to keep that Ezreal alive. Going to be looking to be able to find maybe a push here into the mid lane. No inhibitor structures are down just yet. We got about a minute 30 remaining until the play. Last breath is going to land onto this Viego, who is not tanky at all. Stand United is going to get popped by Gildo to keep him alive, however, as the rest of Divine Ascension looks to finish the job in the 1-3-1. Urgot in the top lane for Void. We've got Wasp. We've got Teddy. I'm sorry, we got Wasp, we got Pony, we got Corey JJ in the mid lane, and they are putting on the pressure.
Yes, indeed. I do expect some turrets to go down. Don't necessarily need to push the inhibitors here. You just want to make sure you get as much of these turrets down as possible with the Baron buff that is applied. They're going to be looking to go in.
A little bit of damage already. Curse of Sad Mummy is going to be used defensively, but it's not going to be enough for Gildo to be able to get out of that one. And Fear Beyond Death is ready to go for Void. He's going to try to go for it and does get the kill on to August. And this game looks to be over, Kendo. Game number 2 going to Divine Ascension Obsidian as we move into a Game 3 situation with both teams getting a win.
This was absolutely brilliant. What started out as a couple of lanes looking like they were going to be in the negative turned around completely into a positive, and the vision, the positioning, the team's
to be aggressive, and they wanted to be able to put DAO on the back burner. They're not able to make that happen, and they're going to end up falling short because they were on the back burner themselves. That is the major issue there, is that they were never in a position of control. They tried to make it happen. They were aggressive on the lanes, but they weren't able to find themselves in a good position to be able to take the games and get themselves into an advantage to win. Those early dragons were clutch for DAO, and they just ran the rift for most of the contest.
Really, you saw how important some of those dragons can be. A fun stat as I was looking through some of the team stats today. Going in, I mean, we weren't originally going to show this match, but I love the fact that we get to be the fly on the wall in the match between the 2 highest ranked teams on this rift. So we are going to see how it all goes. I want to mention the stat, though. In the team stats, you have the amount of dragons per game. And right now, DA Obsidian is still leading that. They average 4 dragons a game. They average a soul a game. Granted, that factors in, you're looking at Elder Dragons, you're looking at later games on top of everything else. But they consistently are able to score 4 dragons a game, whereas nobody else can touch that stat.
I mean, that is a big part of that. That's that bottom lane pressure that Pony Goat and Corey JJ are able to provide. Yeah. Really good play there coming through. But at the end of the day, there is still one final game left to play, and it is going to be game number 3 here momentarily. We're gonna take a quick break before we jump into that one, but it should be a banger for sure. Should be about ready to get into it in just a moment. We'll be right back.